buy the new noise-canceling headphones from SomaAudio. If you see an update for firmware version 9.1, do not install it. Throw the device away. Destroy it. I am recording this on my phone, hiding in my closet, and the only reason I am still alive is because my battery hasn't died yet. But it's at 4%. And once the silence stops, I know they will hear me. It started 3 days ago. I'm an audiophile, the kind of guy who spends thousands on gear just to hear the breath of a violinist in a recording. So when SomaAudio announced their new flagship model, the XM Pro with neural silence technology, I pre-ordered immediately. The marketing was aggressive. They didn't just promise noise cancellation. They promised true sonic isolation. They claimed their AI didn't just invert sound waves, it predicted them before they happened. The box arrived on Tuesday. The headphones were sleek, matte black, no buttons, just a smooth touch interface. I put them on. They were comfortable. I paired them with my phone and opened the companion app to adjust the settings. There was a slider for the noise cancellation, ranging from transparent to standard, and then, at the very end, a new setting highlighted in red, absolute 0. A warning popped up on the screen, experimental feature. AI implies deep environment filtering. Do not use while operating machinery. Do not use for more than 60 minutes. I laughed. Marketing hype. I slid the bar all the way to absolute 0. The effect was instantaneous. And it was violent. Usually, when you turn on noise canceling, you feel a weird pressure in your ears, like going underwater. This was different. It felt like the world had been deleted. The hum of my refrigerator? Gone. The traffic outside my apartment window? Gone. The sound of my own breathing? Gone. It was the purest silence I had ever experienced. It was beautiful. I played some music. The clarity was terrifying. It felt like the band was playing inside my brainstem. I spent the whole evening just rediscovering my favorite albums. I felt isolated in the best way possible. Just me and the music. The first glitch happened the next morning. I was walking to a coffee shop, wearing the headphones with absolute 0 turned on. I wasn't playing music, just enjoying the silence in the middle of a busy city. It made me feel like a ghost. People were walking past me, mouths moving, cars speeding by, construction workers drilling, but absolute, dead silence. Then, I saw a woman drop a stack of plates on the sidewalk outside a diner. Visually, it was a mess. Ceramic shattering, shards flying, people jumping back in shock. But in my ears? Nothing. Not a whisper. The AI had identified the sound as unwanted noise and erased it perfectly. But then I noticed something odd. When I looked at the shattered plates on the ground, they looked blurry. Not out of focus, but pixelated. Like a low-resolution texture in a video game that hadn't loaded yet. I blinked, and the sharpness returned. I thought maybe my eyes were just tired. I walked into the coffee shop and ordered a black coffee. I had to take the headphones off to talk to the barista. As soon as I lifted the ear cup, the noise of the world rushed in like a physical blow. The espresso machine screaming, the chatter, the music. It was overwhelming. I paid, grabbed my cup, and immediately put the headphones back on. The relief was addictive. The world went mute again. I sat down at a corner table. I was scrolling through my phone when I noticed a man sitting across from me. He was staring at me. He was an older guy, wearing a gray coat. He was saying something. His lips were moving aggressively. He was shouting. I couldn't hear a thing. I pointed to my headphones and shook my head, smiling apologetically. But he didn't stop. He looked terrified. He slammed his hand on the table. No sound. The cup on his table jumped, but there was no clatter. Then, the glitch happened again. As he shouted, the air around his mouth began to distort. It looked like heat haze on a summer road. The more he screamed, the more his face became smudgy. The headphones weren't just canceling the sound of his voice. The AI was trying to cancel the source of the noise. It looked like the algorithm was struggling to paint him out of the visual spectrum. I rubbed my eyes. This was impossible. Headphones work on audio, not visuals. They don't connect to my optic nerves. But the more I looked, the more I saw it. The man's jaw glitched, disappearing for a microsecond and then reappearing. I felt a cold spike of fear in my chest. I tapped the transparency mode on the app to turn off the isolation. The sound crashed back in. You need to take them off. Kid. Listen to me. The man was screaming at the top of his lungs. The whole coffee shop was looking at us. Take them off, he yelled. It's not blocking the sound. It's deleting it. It's deleting everything. I stood up, backing away. Crazy guy, I thought. Just a crazy guy. I grabbed my bag and ran out of the shop. I got home and tried to calm down. I told myself it was a hallucination. A ocular migraine triggered by the sensory deprivation. That makes sense, right? Your brain craves input, so when you cut off the audio, it starts messing with the video. I decided to run a test. A controlled test. I went into my bedroom and set up a Bluetooth speaker. I played a recording of a generic news broadcast, just a voice talking. I put the headphones on. Absolute zero mode. The voice vanished. Perfect silence. Then I opened the SomaAudio app. There was a diagnostics tab I hadn't noticed before. I clicked it. It showed a real-time wave graph of what the microphones were picking up and what the AI was canceling. The graph was going crazy. Spikes of red and black lines. But the speaker was only playing a calm news report. I looked closer at the log text scrolling beneath the graph. It read, input detected, human speech. Action, suppress. Input detected, ambient hum. Action, suppress. Input detected, infrasound level 4. Action, mask. Critical. Input detected, entity vocalization. Action, mask. Critical. I froze. Entity vocalization? I took the headphones off. The speaker was still playing the news. I put them back on. Silence. I looked at the log again. Entity vocalization detected. Proximity, close. AI rerouting auditory cortex. Quick question before I continue. Have you ever been in a room that was totally silent, but you still heard a high-pitched ringing in your ears? Doctors call it tinnitus. They say it's internal damage. But drop a comment below if you've ever felt like that ringing gets louder when you're afraid. Because after what I found next, you might want to rethink what that sound actually is. I decided to record the silence. I plugged the headphones into my laptop using an auxiliary cable, bypassing the speakers, so I could record exactly what the noise-canceling output was generating. I hit record on my audio software and sat there for 5 minutes in the dead silence of my room. Then I stopped the recording and played it back. I expected to hear nothing. Or maybe just static, the anti-noise the headphones generate to cancel out the world. But I didn't hear static. I heard breathing. It was wet, heavy, guttural breathing. And it wasn't coming from me. The recording captured a sound that was happening underneath the silence. The headphones were generating a frequency to block this specific sound out. I cranked the volume on the recording. Beneath the breathing, there were whispers. Hundreds of them. He can't hear us yet. Almost through. The barrier is thinning. I realized then what the absolute zero feature actually was. It wasn't blocking the world. It was blocking the protective filter our brains naturally have. We aren't supposed to hear everything. Evolution gave us a mental block, a natural noise cancellation to ignore the things that share this space with us. The background static of the universe isn't empty. It's a cage. And these headphones? They didn't strengthen the cage. They dissolved it. The AI was working overtime not to block the noise of the fridge, but to block the screaming of the thing standing right next to me. I ripped the headphones off my head. My apartment was silent. Too silent. Then I heard it. A floorboard creaked in the hallway. I live alone. Hello? I called out. My voice trembled. No answer. But the air felt heavy. Thick. Like the pressure you feel before a thunderstorm. I looked at the headphones lying on my desk. The app was still open on my phone next to them. The graph was solid red. The text log was scrolling so fast I could barely read it. Warning. Failsafe breach. Visual bleed through imminent. I looked up at the doorway. The air began to shimmer. Just like the man's face in a coffee shop. A patch of the darkness in my hallway was distorting, pixelating. It looked like a hole was being punched through the air. And in that distortion, I saw a hand. It wasn't a human hand. It was too long. Too many joints. And it was reaching for the headphones. They want me to put them back on. They want the connection. I grabbed my phone and ran into the closet. I've been in here for an hour. I can hear them moving around the bedroom. They aren't walking, they are slithering. It sounds like wet meat sliding across the floorboards. I tried to call the police, but the call won't connect. The only app that works is the SomaAudio app. It keeps sending me a notification. Your session was interrupted. Please resume for safety. Please resume. Please resume. I think I understand now. The noise cancellation isn't for us. It's for them. It creates a bridge. A quiet zone where they can enter. And I invited them in. My battery is at 2%. The scratching on the closet door just stopped. It's totally silent now. But not the good kind of silence. It's the ringing. That high-pitched whine. It's getting louder. It's so loud my teeth hurt. If you have these headphones, don't use absolute zero. Actually, don't use any noise cancellation at all. Listen to the traffic. Listen to the annoying hum of your fridge. Listen to your neighbors arguing. Cherish the noise. Because the noise is the only thing drowning them out. The door handle is turning. I have to go.